So many stickers. Help.
It's like the equivalent of getting into a CD back in the day. Anyway. Dreamers, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi, I'm Jacqueline. I am glad to have you. Consider subscribing if you are into beauty videos, as well as being open to other things. I have been expanding our horizons lately. A couple videos ago, I kind of announced that I am a cannabis patient and that I work in the industry, things like that. So things are kind of developing around here. I should say I'm being a little less guarded. We're trying to be. And I'm really excited to show you guys kind of this makeup tutorial. Not kind of, we're doing this makeup tutorial. This is generally what I look like when I go into work. I do pretty simple looks just so that I am out the door quickly. Well, not a one and done, that's certainly not true, but basically this is just, if anything, the more done up version of what I wear to work. If anything, there's a little less eye makeup involved in this, but this is generally what I look like when I am going in for a 10-hour shift at work. If you are interested to see how I got this look, you are in the right place. We're doing a little more casual video today. If you like that style, throw me a like down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to it. If you've been here before, you know that I have a hard time not teaching while going through this process, so that's why I say that it's a combination of these things. It's more of a get ready with me style in that I'm gonna be kind of chatty and casual, but I ultimately have a hard time turning off that teacher mode, so if that bothers you, maybe this isn't your thing, that's cool. You can catch me in my other videos. I will have some other things linked for you. Otherwise, if you wanna just kind of do makeup with me, catch up with me, that's kind of what we're doing today. I'm excited to be here with you. I figured we would kind of do what I've been wearing to work lately, just because it's kind of some tried and true makeup. I switch up some of the color products from time to time, but the formulas are ones that I really trust for long days, because as I've said before, when I go to work, it's a 10-hour shift, so it's crucial that my makeup not betray me on that long work day. To start off, I am going in with my Stay Perfect foundation. This is in the shade Warm Ivory. It's the perfect undertone for me right now since I don't have any self-tanner on. I do need to lighten it up a little bit. I use my NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in white to do that. If there's anything that you want further clarification on what I am using, I will do my best to list and link everything for you down below. This Stay Perfect foundation I found and fell in love with 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, and it is my absolute favorite foundation ever. It is my most repurchased foundation. It recently surpassed the MAC Studio Fix, which was my tried and true foundation for way too many years, which has nothing to do with the fact that I am acne prone. Probably has everything to do with it. For work, I tend to do my base before the rest of my face because I tend to prioritize in the morning because I wake up really, really early to go to work, and sometimes I'm good about waking up to my alarm and other times I hit snooze while I'm still in full sleep mode. This is a color corrector I'm gonna let kind of sit under my eyes for a minute and thicken up before I blend it out. It's priorities first and fun stuff second when I'm rushing in the morning. So complexion looking good is kind of a priority. Everything else is just kind of bonus. I tend to leave my eye makeup for last just because that is least crucial to me looking pulled together. I did prime with a couple of different primers. I used the HangoveRx primer from Too Faced as well as the Revlon PhotoReady, the pore reducing primer. There are 2 different versions of that. I prefer the pink one. I'm not always the best at talking and blending at the same time, but I really wanted to thank you guys for all the support on my latest video on, well, not my latest video, that was a tutorial, but on my video where I was talking about cannabis. And I just really appreciate the support and positivity that I've seen thus far around this topic. It really just reassures me that I'm doing the right thing. Work has been crazy busy. It does mean that I'm rather exhausted. For example, a couple days ago, I'm not someone who can really sleep in past like 7:30, 8 a.m. if I'm lucky. It's just not how I'm wired. I just can't sleep in very late. And the other day I woke up at like 11:30 after working the day before, and I was just like, wow, I guess I really was exhausted, you know? He's a punky boo boy. I'm not gonna hold you right now. Will you go lay down? Go on. Go on. Go lay down. Whenever he hears me talking to the camera, he's got to come and make sure there's not someone for him to yell at. I've been playing around with some different concealers lately. I picked up this Flower Light Illusion concealer. Supposedly full coverage. I'm not sure if I consider it full coverage or not, but I haven't worn it enough times to truly tell. I have been adding it for some coverage on my face just because I feel like it's a really good match for me right now. And I have been incredibly hormonally broken out lately. It's been pretty relentless, not gonna lie. I love hormones. They have a function, but they are frustrating. Bentley, go lay down. Go lay down, bud. Bear with me one moment. My dog won't leave me alone, so I figure he needs something. Be right back. Because I knew I was going outside and putting sunglasses on, I left my concealer unset under my eyes so that whatever little indentations were left over, I could re-blend out when I came back in and then set everything. So that is all you missed. I re-blended my concealer with my sponge. I didn't add anything. And then I just set my under eyes with a little bit of veil powder from Hourglass. In other exciting news, Bentley's tiny bladder was pretty well timed for us because the UPS guy came while I was getting ready earlier and dropped off my Ulta package a couple days early. So I picked up the Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre because I feel like this is going to be a much better shade match. Yes, look at that. I used some of my Ulta points to make a purchase, so I got this as well as a couple other things that I will share with you. Might as well do a little mini unboxing. This is the first time seeing these things too. A few weeks ago, I picked up the Flower Light Illusion Perfecting Powder in the shade Porcelain. This is the lightest shade that they carry. I want to say there's only 4 shades right now, but someone on YouTube, I want to say it was Andrea Mattiliano, who compared this to the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Airbrush Perfecting Powder, that's that really thin pressed powder, but it's like $50. So this at $14 is a nice compromise, and I've been enjoying it as a really finely milled powder, though I wanted to try out a technique that I had never done before, and that is using a face powder in a deeper shade to bronze because it adds more coverage, especially when you are more in your acne prone state, which I particularly am in right now, as you can tell.
Oh my goodness, so many stickers. Help!
It's like the equivalent of getting into a CD back in the day. Anyway, I picked up this deeper shade of this powder to essentially try to bronze with it to see if it would be nice and not remove any coverage in the areas where I need to bronze, because those tend to be areas where I do have acne. So I thought this would be a nice way to try it out. It's convenient that it's here in time for us to use it, as well as the eye base right before I applied eye base. And I was going to be using the other more neutral shade. I do have Painterly, which is wonderful. It is better for more cool or neutral undertones. This is that shade for reference. I've used it tremendously. As you can tell, it was once flush with the top as well. Love this product. It is a phenomenal eye base, and I'm excited to have a color that just better suits me. I need to show you the third thing I purchased. Dang it. Stay focused, Jacqueline. Nurse Jamie NuLips RX Moisturizing Lip Balm and Exfoliating Lip Brush. Now, I'm not that excited about the lip brush just because I feel like this is something I already have just in the shape of a lips. It's just a little silicone scrubby guy. Imagine it's going to be effective. It's cute because it's lip shaped. Let's look at this balm. It had good reviews. It didn't have a ton of reviews, but it had good ones, and it had different ingredients than what I've experienced in lip balms lately. As you may know, I am a chronic dry lip sufferer. As a dry skin type, that really extends to my lips and is, I'd like to say, most exacerbated there. I am not a dehydrated individual. I drink lots of water. However, oil content in the skin and water content are two different factors, and my struggle, I believe, is more with oil content, as my water content is pretty top-notch. But anyway, I wanted to try out this lip balm. Smell this. I was also excited about the balm because while it's under $30 for this set, you get almost half an ounce of this product. Very faintly of like buttercream, but not strictly vanilla, just like buttercream frosting. But very faint. Ooh, I'm excited to try that now. I kind of want to put a little bit on. Wow, it's been here for 0.2 seconds and it already has a Darcy hair in it. Story of my life. It's thin, which is not what I was expecting, but I don't feel like you can tell from just applying a lip balm how it's going to be, so we will just have to wait and see. But let's get our eyes primed. I feel bad messing up this perfect cream product, but there we go. It's starting. Forgive me, I gotta pull my mirror a little bit closer just for eye stuff. I think that color is lovely. Great match for me. Before we put any like flush tone colors down, I want to put down whatever our deepest color is going to be. Personally, I struggle with keeping that deep shade saturated all day long, so that's just something I've noticed with my own chemistry. It doesn't matter what eye base, it's just something that I deal with. Are you gonna go lay down? Go lay down, bud. Go lay down. Go. We're gonna do eyes now just because I think it's more effective to do it on the fresh primer, but realistically when I'm doing my makeup for work, I will make sure to get an eye base on there just so that I have some color on my lid, though I do wait until the last minute to do the eyeshadow portion. So just know that I'm doing this a little out of order for what is my normal, but I think it's the best option. Where did my little color switch go? Shoot! Hiding. Okay. So I'm going to go in with this, what are you? Instapop crease brush from Real Techniques. I'm just switching off some eyeshadow real quick. And I'm going to go in with Mocha from Makeup Geek. And I recently organized myself a little kind of life palette of sorts. This is Mocha, which is a neutral brown. It's a deep shade for me. It may not be for all skin tones, but for me it works as a nice like deepening outer corner color. I'm not going to do it too blended right now. I'm just kind of trying to get that dark shade on there as a placeholder. And lately I've been doing this thing that is kind of like my modified version of a recent Wayne Goss technique that I've kind of made my own, and I like to take a little bit of that same color on the pointed tip of this brush and bring it just on the outer corner a little bit. From there, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of a loose brush. I'm going to go for my Sigma E25. It already has the color on it that I'm going to reach for, and that is Preppy from Makeup Geek. Switching up to an even looser brush, this is a Morphe M441. said it before, I'll say it again. I do not encourage you to spend your money on Morphe products, though, since I already did invest quite a bit of money into their brushes. I do utilize what I have already, just because I am not really in a position to replace everything at this point. That would be a big financial burden. That same brush and work in Desert Sands from Makeup Geek. Wow, I was gonna say shade and color at the same time. Color. Taking that same shade on a smaller brush, I'm gonna blend out that lower lash line. Just picking up a little bit more of that Preppy shade and blending out this edge here. Shall we experiment with this today or save it for another video? I think we should save it for another video because we're doing what I normally wear to work. We already introduced that one new product because it's a new shade on the eye base. So on second thought, would like to set my face down a little bit before going in with that bronzer. So I have this CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Light. Anywhere I have any creasing, I'm going to blend that out real quick just so I'm not setting any creases in place. This is one of the first tips I ever gave on my channel, and that is do not set creases because you are literally locking them in place for the day. Fix it, then set it. Alright, I'm gonna get out my trusty headband so I don't stain my platinum again. Now we are ready to continue powdering. The ColourPop Spectacle bronzer. I realized I had not tried one of their bronzers other than in that one duo a long time ago. So I wanted to pick up one of their bronzers as I really enjoy their blush and highlight formulas. And I thought this would be a nice shade to try as it seemed like a really light skin friendly undertone. But I don't know. I can't decide if I like it or not. I don't know if it's too natural for me. I don't know. I can't really decide. It's a pretty color, don't get me wrong, but it takes a lot of building to get to the level of bronze that I like to be. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm kind of giving it another chance. I'm giving it like this week to prove itself because I'm at a point where I'm not really okay with hanging on to things that are just okay in my collection anymore. That's just where I'm at emotionally. And when I say my collection, I mean in my collection of items that I own in general, not just makeup. Like I've been kind of decluttering my life, so to speak. I mean, I don't really have time for people who aren't real, for people who can't talk about themselves, for people who can't apologize or accept apologies. That's kind of what I'm learning at this stage in my life. And I'm also learning that when you allow things to take up space in your living space, it takes up space in your mind as well. And I'm one of those that's very easily stressed out by my environment. I'm very easily overwhelmed by clutter. I know this sounds so silly and juvenile, but I'm finding more and more that keeping everything tidy really does keep me a lot more sane. So I've been focusing more on that lately without as much guilt, I guess, attached to it. I like how this is reacting right now. I feel like maybe this is just one of those bronzers where I do need to set the foundation because I don't usually do that. I did it today because I'm rather acne prone and I didn't want all that coverage to lift up, but it's not something I do on a regular basis just because I'm more of a dry skin type and I just don't want to powder my whole face. I was really excited about this one. I have several blushes I'm really enjoying right now. One of them is the new shade from Wet n Wild called Keep It Peachy, the first more wearable matte shade that they've come out with in this formula that isn't so deep in tone. So I believe Mellow Wine is also matte, but that's the only other one to my knowledge. I love this shade. It is beautiful. It is similar to the matte side in the CoverFX duo in the soft peach shade. If you were looking for a dupe for that, I feel that they're very similar. But I wanted to mention this Mineral Blush by Becca in the shade Songbird. I actually found this at TJ Maxx recently, and this is a blush that has been on my list forever. Like, 4 or 5 years now. This is a blush that I've always really wanted. I've swatched it so many times in Sephora stores and just couldn't commit to it because it's like $30. Well, I found it for $8 at TJ Maxx, and I was very excited to see that it was untouched. Of course, I peeked just to make sure that no one had gotten their grubby little hands in there, but I was so excited to find this blush, and now I just can't put it down. It's very pigmented, so I like to apply it with this like sheer stipply style brush. It's just gorgeous. Like, this is kind of what I imagined NARS Orgasm was going to be, but this is far more finely milled. It's a little more color versus shine, which I want in a blush. Like, I'm okay with some glow. That's fine with me, but I do want it to ultimately have more color than it does shine because that's its purpose in my routine. Otherwise, I would have bought a highlighter. You know what I'm saying? I always get a little carried away. It's just so youthful and gorgeous. I love that. Let's use an oldie but a goodie. I've been really enjoying the Master Chrome from Maybelline Molten Rose Gold. Again, this is a beautiful shade. I have been kind of going back and forth between this and the Amrezy Anastasia highlighter, and they're both equally beautiful. This one is a little more affordable, and we've been using more high-end products thus far in this video, so I thought we'd switch it up, do something a little more affordable on this step. I prefer to do this step before my eyebrows just because I find I can highlight under and above it pretty naturally. And I've been working with this shape of highlight recently that's a little bit different, so I want to kind of show you. I've been doing almost like a C shape, so I kind of come in this way and then down this way. And I've not been bringing in my highlight quite as far. I don't like it visible from the front right now for whatever reason. I think it's just because of the texture of my skin right now. So I've been bringing it down a little bit, but just a little bit further back on my cheek. So it's more of a like a side glisten than a front glisten, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me. I'm so sorry if you can hear that right now. I am getting increasingly frustrated with these sounds in my neighborhood because yesterday I was supposed to be filming and couldn't because they decided to do all of our neighborhood's maintenance, including mulching all of the trees that they cut down right outside my window. It sounded like I was running multiple machines in here. It was kind of crazy, so I couldn't really do much yesterday. And today they were doing more maintenance outside. They were mowing everything. So yesterday they were trimming everything, like trees and that sort of thing, and mulching that. And then today they were on riding mowers and blowers and all that kind of stuff. And here they come again. Actually, before I put that away, I'm gonna grab a little smaller brush so we can highlight the inner corner. Let's do some brows before setting with some spray and doing mascara. I can't talk for this part, so I'm gonna go ahead and just mute myself, but I'll speed it up for you. this is our finished look. This is generally what I look like going into work, though sometimes there's even less eye makeup because sometimes that just happens. And then sometimes I wake up extra early so I can have a killer eye makeup day because that's just what I need to boost my confidence in that moment. So there is a fluctuation of looks here, but this is generally what I've been rocking on my base. It's been working out well for me. I do apologize. I totally thought I was filming the lip portion of this video, but I was not, and I had some faulty issues. But essentially I'm using the same technique I did in my last video, that 5-minute tutorial that I did last week. I used the same lip liners and just topped it with a lipstick instead of that gloss. This is the shade 900 Glossy Fawn in the L'Oreal Color Riche line. If I'm not wearing a buxom plumping gloss, that is usually what I'm wearing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very simple makeup look. If you enjoyed this more casual style, be sure to leave me a like down below. I really enjoy having you here. And as always, share your favorite video with your favorite person. I would love to grow our subscriber base so that I can get to that giveaway for you guys a little faster. We are going for 1,000 subscribers if you are new around here, so help me out by sharing me with your favorite makeup junkies and you may just win a really nice prize. More on that when we get a little closer. Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!